Hola YouTube, seguimos en Vampyr y tenemos que ir a Whitechapel para saber qué cojones está pasando. Así que bueno, esto es por aquí, ¿no? Hay una cajita. Vale, pues esto no era por aquí. A ver, creo que es este puente por aquí, ¿no? Que va a Whitechapel. Entra por tu propio riesgo, pone. Ah, sí, Whitechapel. Excelente. Ahora tenemos que buscar... Uy, oigo grititos y historias raras. Vale, he hecho un pequeño salto porque la verdad es que el sitio es muy largo y aquí hay un malo, creo. Ah, no. Pues la marca es aquí, o sea, ya estamos. He hecho un pequeño salto porque el mapa es larguísimo y para que el vídeo no sea infinito, pues he decidido cortar y cortar en más partes, supongo.
What? What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Vale, pues vamos a buscar a la peña. Ah, no, investiga acciones de Darius Petrescu, vale. Pues vamos, esto es por aquí. Vale, el tío se está moviendo, pero no puedo hacer nada. Ahora sí.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Bueno chicos, pues cuando llegue al...
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Voy a buscar a estos tíos para que no se haga el vídeo exageradamente largo. Voy a cortar y cuando encuentre a estos señores pues volvemos. Hasta ahora. Vale, pues estamos ya en la zona de la iglesia, como podéis ver, y por aquí tiene que estar el Clayton este. Vale, pulmonía, no tosa en público. A ver, aquí hay un señor de azul.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reid.
Dr. Reid, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nithercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nithercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Vale, ya hemos hablado con uno de ellos. Aquí hay un cura, pero vamos a pasar. Vale, pues vamos. Voy a ver. Este es el periodista otra vez, ¿no?
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Pues sí, otra vez.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Nos lo hemos encontrado intentando bajar las escaleras y ahora vuelve a estar arriba, que no entiendo nada, tío. En fin, a ver si encontramos a Richard Nithercroft. Vale, gritos. Ahí hay un malo. Ahí son dos. Ahí son tres. Ay, pero cámbiate de mierda, tío. Ay, joder. Es que no... Había fijado la cámara. Y no podía atacar al de atrás. Pero bueno, ya está. No ha pasado. Todo va ok. Vale, a ver dónde está el tío. Parece que está por aquí cerca. 19 metros. Estará ahí en las verjas esas. A ver. En el cemento. Ah, mira, hay un señor. Vamos a hablar con él.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nithercott, at your service.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you, for a start, my dear Doctor.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Vale, pues ya está, ya hemos hablado con los hostios, ahora tenemos que encontrar el buzón y la carta. Que nos lo marca por ahí. No está muy lejos, a 20 y pico metros. A ver. Se sale por aquí, ¿no? Aquí hay una señorita. Hola, guapa.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. Goodbye then. Hello again, miss. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well. Goodbye then.
Vale, esta tía no suelta lastre, ¿eh? No dice ni pío la tía. En fin, vamos a seguir. Mira, aquí hay otra flor. No se puede hacer nada, ¿no? Así, ahora sí. Ah, vale, es lo mismo que la otra.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Vale.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Vale, pues vamos a ir a casa de Darius y a ver qué nos cuentan los colegas. Vale, pues la casa de Darius ya está aquí. He hecho un pequeño corte también para no tragarnos todo el camino de vuelta. Aquí está. A ver si ahora nos deja entrar.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Vale, ya estamos en la casa del tío. Encuentra a Dorothy en el dispensario. Que supongo que el dispensario es el edificio que hemos visto antes. O sea, que debe estar aquí en el parque, en el patio. Debe ser eso. Encuentra a Dorothy. Ah, pero está ahí arriba.
Can you hear my voice? I need help.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily, high fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain, diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor. We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Yes, I know. You are true to your reputation, Dr. Reid. Dedicated and precise. No one could have done more.
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reid?
Your heart might be in the right place, but you can't carry on with this blackmail. For God's sake, Dorothy, it's extortion. It's a serious crime.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reid! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then?
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
Bueno, al menos lo hemos conseguido. Nuevas víctimas disponibles. Hemos aumentado nuestro nivel de cautivar. Ah, qué guay. Vale. Pues nada, ya podemos irnos. Ya hemos llegado a un trato de precio. De hecho, te dan un logro si consigues... Uy. ¿Qué está pasando ahí abajo? Parece que estén matando a alguien. Eso son malos. Son malos. Ay, ay, ay. Me quedé sin energía, puto. Vale, sí. Uy. Vale, sigamos para allá. ¿Hay algo más que coger por aquí? Creo que no, ¿no? Vale, pues sigamos. Tenemos que volver al hospital a hablar con la tía esa que nos daba la misión. Bueno, la misión anterior, ¿os acordáis que nos daba la misión anterior? Y gracias a ir a las alcantarillas descubríamos todo esto. Esto está petado de malos, tío. Esto estaba vacío. Los malos están intentando abrir la puerta del Petrescu este. Yo estoy aquí escondido.
Stay away.
Vaya, me han visto. Perfecto. Pues nada, a
Stay
darles por
away,
culo.
sir.
Listen this!
Human fucking beast. Oh, Christ! That's what you do with leeches.
Vale, pues ya está. Otro combate más vencido. Vamos a recoger las cosas que han sacado estos bichitos. Y ya podemos huir. Informa de la situación a Lady Icebury. Pues será, no sé. Vale. Hostia, ¿qué ha pasado? Ah, vale. Se ha quedado paralizado, pero pensaba que no se quedaban paralizados. En fin, vamos a seguir por aquí. No sé si habrá malos en todos sitios o solo los han puesto ahí al principio al lado de la casa del Petrescu. Pero bueno. A ver por dónde era, es que ya no me acuerdo, tío. Soy un negado para eso. O sea, soy un puto negado para saber por dónde tirar. Voy a ir por aquí a ver. Oigo gente hablando, pero no sé si son malos, supongo que sí. Ahí hay unos señores. Todavía quedan 200 metros, pero no sé. ¿Izquierda o derecha? ¿Qué hacemos? Oh, mira, por el centro no se puede, qué pena. Pues vamos por la izquierda. Vale. Vale, uy. Calle de Whitechapel, distrito. Venga. Pues yo creo que ya salimos, ¿no? De aquí. Sí, sí. O no. O todavía quedan espacios de Whitechapel. Es que no me acuerdo, pero me parece que no era tan grande.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Uy. Vale, sigamos por aquí.
Kill it, boy!
Uy, ostras, bosses. Mierda. Vale, Vincent Shin, Toby Shin. Hay uno con un arma, vamos a ir por esto. Mierda, más gente.
Die, vermin!
No veo nada, tío. A ver, hay dos bosses y dos soldaditos de... Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. A ver, voy a ir por esta sitio. Se me van a matar. Me van a matar primo. Ay, 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 voy a alejarme. Bien, ya he matado a uno de los hermanos. Pero no me queda ni sangre, ni energía, ni la puta mierda. Joder. Tristísimo. Mierda. Mierda, mierda. Hostia, que me van a matar, tío. Corre, 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 corre. Corre, primo, corre. Ay, que bien, se parece a otro. Me cago en su puta madre. Me estoy poniendo olvidas con el autofagio. Venga, que ya está, ya está. Hombre. Solo queda este que es... Uf, pues me ha costado, que hace me mata. Menos mal, tío. No quiero repetir este combate otra vez. Vale. Pues ya está. Vale, este era el boss que había que hacer. Esto es por aquí, seguro. Bueno, como ya esto era el boss, pues ya creo que puedo teletransportarme hasta Whitechapel. Bueno, hasta Whitechapel no, hasta donde está la tía, Lady Ashbury. Y así nos quitamos el marrón de ver el caminito otra vez, porque no creo que haya más combates. Así que nos vemos ahora. Vale, pues ya está, realmente estábamos al lado, así que en solo 30 segundos la tía estaba por aquí, ¿no? A ver. No. Está en la tienda de campaña. A ver.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reid. I like a man who speaks his mind.
You killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
I believe I could agree to that.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions you may have.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of vampire is a Skull?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Skulls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Very well, but I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
I bid you farewell. For now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
Bueno, pues voy a ir al despacho ya. Solo nos queda analizar la sangre de Rasan Basile para completar este capítulo por fin. La verdad es que las misiones son larguitas, lo cual no tiene por qué ser malo. Pero para los vídeos sí que lo es un poco más jodido, porque hay que cortar mucho o hacerlos... Ya veis, va a ser largo igualmente. Pero bueno, a joderse. A ver, esto era por aquí, ¿no? ¿Dónde estaba el laboratorio? Era esto. Ah, no.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Oh yeah, it's water. Espera, está aquí, está aquí.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Bueno chicos, pues nos hemos pasado un capítulo más. Espero que os esté gustando Vampyr. Dadle un like si os está molando. Suscribíos si no lo habéis hecho todavía. Y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. Adiós.